So it's the last day of July 2024. It's the 31st day of July. I woke up this morning to devastating news about one of our medal hopefuls at the current Olympic Games. Now, let me take you back in time. As of 9th of June, 2024, the World Athletics had hailed Nigeria's Favour Ofili. Says in this tweet, World Athletics said, Favour Ofili takes down a stacked women's 100-meter field with 11.18 into a strong headwind. So we knew as of June, I had my eyes on Favour. I knew that this Olympics would be her chance, to at least be one of the 8 fastest women for 100 meters in the world. I mean, I look forward to seeing her in that final lineup, all things being equal. The way she had represented up till now, we knew that Favour was going to be in that final lineup. And then she tweets this morning, "It is with great regret that I have just been told that I will not be competing in the 100 meters at this Olympic Games. I qualified, but those with the AFN, that's the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, and the NOC, that's the National Olympic Committee, failed to enter me. I have worked for 4 years to earn this opportunity. For what?" And she went on to say, "Please remember, in the last Olympic Games, I was not able to compete because the AFN, that's the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, the NADC and the NOC, those are the National Olympic Committees, failed to release funds for athletes to be tested, which made 14 Nigerian athletes that had qualified to not compete. Now this." And her final tweet on the issue, "If those responsible are not held accountable for taking this opportunity from me, neither organization can ever be trusted in the future. Next one is the 200 meters. I hope I've entered." And those are her 3 tweets on the matter. And that got me riled up, Okay, so what happens made me start doing my research on who is actually responsible when a country is going to the Olympics and trials have been held. Athletes have won at the trials. We now know who will be going. Who actually registers these athletes for the Olympics to participate in the games? And this is what my research has shown me. If you go to the website olympics.com, you will see there the Olympic organizers say that taking part in the games is every athlete's dream and requires huge amounts of determination and long years of training. Long years of training. That's why Favour was complaining. She's trained 4 years for this. For what? All down the drain. Now, athletes must first comply with the Olympic Charter, follow the rules of the International Federation, that's the IF that governs the sport. The IF establishes rules and organizes qualifying events, while the country's National Olympic Committee supports the athlete and is responsible for entering them for the games. How then did our NOC not put Favour Ofili's name in that games? This riles me up, especially if you've been following developments in our sports. Over the years, listening to retired footballers, Olise and, all the dream team boys that went to the Atlanta back in the day, Amokachi, and we've all heard stories from every sport, how, there are other conditions that exist if you want to represent Nigeria. So it's not only about your talent, your skill, and qualifying. Is it because Favour didn't settle somebody? We need to get to the bottom of this mishap. Second time in 8 years. 4 years ago, they didn't release funds for people to be tested. If that's not stylishly making sure you don't participate in the Olympic, the dream of every athlete, tell me what is. I'm very suspicious about this non-registration. Very, very suspicious. Something just tells me that something is off. And those who are alleging perhaps, maybe harassment is involved, maybe it's just pure old financial settlement, Favour didn't play games with them, she didn't want to settle, or she didn't want to be harassed, she didn't put herself in a position to be harassed. Could that be the reason? Because I do not understand how a medal hopeful will not be registered. What? I'm waiting to hear their explanation. Can you imagine turning up for the heats? Turning up for the heats. So you spend all that time. And so when the NOC were buying her ticket and doing all the arrangements and booking her room in the Olympic Village, they didn't know that, they didn't register her. This is why, when you hear people saying, may Nigeria not happen to you, it's annoying, but at the same time, you have to actually listen. 4 years. Imagine planning for 4 years for this. In 4 years' time, she may not have the health, she may not have the capacity, she may have moved on, gotten married, have babies, and not be able to get back her form. Form is not something you just grab in the air. If by the time the Olympics come, you are having good form, you are in good form, that's the time to strike while the iron is hot. I hope we get to the bottom of this and we just don't let this slide. The Minister of Sports, Nigeria's Minister of Sports, needs to sit up and do something. Nigerians need to know why. And then is she the only one not registered in these games? Now I'm beginning to suspect. Because we have a whole contingent of people who went. The other thing is, this is directed to the organizers of the Olympic Games. When countries have confirmed their attendance and they've sent in the names of the athletes who will be participating in different sports, I wonder, I haven't, my research so far hasn't shown me, but isn't there an Olympic website where family and friends of different athletes can go and check and say, you've been entered into the 100 meters. How can athletes even check that they are actually registered to participate in the sports for which they have entered? Maybe this is something to consider as well, so that going into the games, before deadlines expire, the participating athletes can check on a website, see that their names are actually registered, and then they can proceed to the games with all confidence that all their training will not go to waste. I'm keeping my eye on this story, and I'll get back to you as soon as the Nigerian Olympic Committee responds to Favour Ofili's tweet.